Good afternoon, Dr. Navhya here again today. And today I'm going to be focusing on the most fascinating gift that we have as human beings, our brains. And I am going to be talking about how there is also a body mind connection, not just a mind body connection. So most of us always feel that it's our mind or it's our brain that controls our body, but it's also our body that can signal back things to our brain, for it to start improving itself. So I'm going to be focusing on brain exercise today. Did you know that on any given day, a human being goes through at least about 70 to 75,000 thoughts, just thoughts. So we are always distracted. When you click on your Facebook page, you see this ad popping, this picture popping, this group popping, this somebody's talk popping. There's so many windows that are opening at the same time. If you were to start focusing on all of it, you would get crazy. So our mind gets very, very distracted. There's too many thoughts, too many things available, and that is why it gets stuck in a rut, because it's the same thing day in and day out. It's the same thing day in and day out. There is nothing new. So it just gets, it's like a self automated thing, and the brain then doesn't get challenged. It doesn't need to do anything new. It doesn't need to dig deep. It doesn't need to innovate. It doesn't need to come up with something, some new wiring, some new neuronal connections. Nothing. It's just that same cycle it keeps going through. And well, this German guru of mine once in Pondicherry told me, "You want to change your life, Navya? Change your actions." So we cannot expect a different new result from our life if we do not change our action. Same action will keep bringing the same result. Well, I was told this in a very different kind of context, but it's true for our brain. The same thing over and over again is just going to make sure it just doesn't grow. It just doesn't get the massage, the brain exercise that it needs to last longer. Now, what happens when you kind of exercise your brain? I'll give you a simple example to do it. So if you're a right-handed person and tomorrow morning you started brushing your teeth with your left hand, now what is this going to do? This is going to bring about a lot of changes in your body. One, it's going to force the fitness muscle, the brain fitness muscle, to come alive and be like, what's happening? This is not something I was prepared for. This is not predictable. You're going to have to be mindful. It's not going to be easy for you to be doing this seemingly easy job, but with your left hand. So you are going to have to put in focus and concentration. Thereby, you're creating the habit of focusing and concentration and being fully engaged in that activity of brushing your teeth, being fully present in that particular activity. Correct? Now you may tell me, I am not interested in being mentally present when I am brushing my teeth. But guess what? This habit that you're creating by forcing your right-handed, your brain, which is used to you being a right-handed person, by brushing with your left hand, is you're creating a habit of being focused, of being concentrating, of being fully present in the activity that you're doing, by being fully available to the activity that you're doing, and this is going to then come true in all other aspects of your life. Decision making, leading, when you're introducing people, suddenly you forget somebody's name, so your memory is going to improve. You have to break somebody's heart and say no to them. You have to fire somebody and you are not able to muster the courage. You've just been procrastinating. So all the aspects of your life, where being present, being mindful, being focused, if you're a student, your studies will improve. If you're a creative person, suddenly you have many ideas for advertisements. Your next campaign, your billboard campaign is going to be stupendous. So you're basically creating a habit of being mindful, more focused, more concentrated, being present in the present activity, and this habit will then become you. So we have to initially in our life put in a lot of effort to create habits, and then guess what? We outsource our these all of these great activities to these habits. Today, if I start brushing my teeth with my left hand, I start pouring water with my left hand, I start uncapping some jam jars with my left hand. I use my left hand on a mouse, with my computer. I am putting the effort to create a habit. But guess what? Tomorrow, after 4 weeks or 6 weeks, I can outsource my mindfulness, my being focused, my being concentrating to this particular habit. So initially, we make habits, and then later on, habits make us. That's the truth. Now, why do you need to exercise your brain, right? So in a study which was done by Duke University for senior citizens by the Department of Neurosciences, they found out that in cases where there was no apparent disease for decline in memory or loss of fine motor skills, it was more often than not a lack of brain exercise. This is how important it is for you to exercise your brain, and it becomes more and more important as you age. So please share this with your parents, with your elders, with people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, because if you start doing it in your 30s, then obviously you're pushing away all of these dementia related issues a little later to your life, which is a welcome change. What do I want you to, do like on a daily basis to achieve this? So if you're a left-handed person, start using your right hand for small things. If you're a right-handed person, start using your left hand for small things like brushing your teeth, using a mouse. This is going to be very, very irritating. Now, what is going to happen in your brain when you do all of this? What's going to happen is your brain, one, you're going to be exercising that fitness muscle, your brain muscle. You're going to be making it more, you're making your fitness muscle brighter, stronger, more innovative. Two, the practical brain, our practical brain, which is used to doing our daily activities, which have now become more or less boring and predictable for it, doesn't end up using a lot of the other parts. It just uses a few parts to achieve these activities. So when you suddenly give your brain a challenge, it will have to change. Challenge always equals change. So when you give your brain a challenge, it will have to, one, grow new neuronal connections. Now look at this. Wow. A right-handed person just starting to brush with his left hand is forcing his brain to grow new neuronal connections because the brain has a new challenge. It will have to change the way it's been working for years. Two, it will have to use parts of itself which it has not been using for many, many years. Correct? So some of the unused, less used, redundant parts in our brains are going to come more alive. They're going to be like, wow, I have a job. Even in COVID, I landed myself work. Three, this is now going to become your practice, So which one of you wants a hard life? You want a life which is hard. I don't think anybody is going to answer this as, oh, I want the hard life. Everybody is going to be like, oh, I want an easy life. I want a comfortable life. I want an easy life, right? So to get an easy life, you have to do hard things. Now, this is really tricky. If you take it easy and do not challenge yourself, then your life is going to be painfully hard. Whether it's an emotional growth or a mental growth or a physical growth, or like in today's video, your brain exercise. So to make life easy for yourself, to avoid memory loss and dementia, I'm not saying it's just not going to happen. There are other reasons for it to happen, but when it happens, how early it happens, how severely it starts, and if it's not related to other factors, if it's just for the fact that your brain is just got into this predictable behavior for decades and decades, it is you are very much in charge of making your life easy by doing these seemingly hard things now. So yes, it's going to be irritating to be using your mouse with your left hand. It's going to sound weird. It's not going to be the most used to thing that you are, but so is your brain. So take these three takeaways today. One is all challenges are going to bring about change. Two is you will be making your habits today, and then tomorrow you can just outsource all the great work to your habits. So it's going to make your life easy. 3 is do a little bit of hard work to make your life easy, not the other way around. 4 is to tap into creativity, to tap into innovation, discovery, those Nobel Peace Prize winning ideas. You will have to train your practical mind to get out of your way. And that will only happen when you learn to be mindful, to be focused, to concentrate, to be present in that activity fully. Correct? So if you're a couple and your girlfriend keeps telling you, oh, you're always distracted, you are never present, even though you're physically present in the relationship. This just means that until and unless you make yourself fully available to that particular activity, to what's happening in that moment, you're not going to succeed in it. So if you're a designer, if you're an architect, if you're a thinker, if you're a scientist, if you're a student, no matter who you are, to be fully present in the activity that you're doing, you will have to incorporate these small little challenging activities, which will then force your muscle, your fitness muscle, to be present in that moment, and then that habit will reflect in all other areas of your life. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This was your brain exercise, and I hope all of us are brushing our teeth with our left hands tomorrow if we are right-handed, and the other way around. So basically use your non-dominant hand to exercise your brain, people. Bye-bye. Dr. Navhya signing off.